Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're venturing into a really profound and frankly disturbing case unfolding in Dharmasthala, India. It's this revered temple town, and there are these mass burial allegations.
Yeah, it's a complex one. You've got a whistleblower's shocking confession, this urgent need for forensic evidence, big political responses.
And then the whole media and misinformation angle, too.
Exactly.
So our mission here really is to help you understand the core facts, who the key players are, and the big questions that are still hanging out there as this whole thing unfolds. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. We have a former Dalit sanitation worker. He's come forward with claims that are just staggering.
Absolutely staggering.
He's alleging he was coerced, threatened, even assaulted, and that between 1995 and 2014, he was forced to bury or burn, well, he says, hundreds of bodies.
And the details he shared, they're harrowing. Many victims, apparently women, minors, signs of sexual assault, strangulation, even acid burns. It's grim stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
And these aren't just, whispers in the dark. Things moved legally quite fast after these claims came out. So June 3rd, 2025, he files a formal complaint.
Right.
Then by July 4th, the Dharmasthala police register an FIR, that's a first information report, under Section 211, BNS. Now, for you listening, that section, it's often used for filing false information.
Which is interesting, isn't it? It sort of signals maybe some initial official skepticism, or at least caution about the whole claim.
Yeah, could be. But then just a week later, July 11th, the whistleblower gives a protected court statement. That's under Section 164.
And that carries significant legal weight. It's recorded by a magistrate, often used to protect the person giving the statement. A big step.
Definitely. And he even submitted some exhumed skeletal remains as evidence right then.
It's striking how quickly these formal actions happened after that first complaint. Usually, in cases touching powerful institutions, you might expect delays, maybe resistance. So this immediate legal response, it really signals that the authorities are taking these claims, well, very seriously, especially considering that initial FIR section choice.
And beyond his testimony, which is powerful on its own, there's this undeniable need for concrete, hard evidence, right?
Absolutely crucial.
I mean, we had the whistleblower's physical skeletal remains. There are photographs. These underpin the claims. But forensic experts are really stressing this isn't enough on its own. They're saying you absolutely need proper exhumation, DNA profiling, detailed burial mapping.
Yeah, without that solid scientific validation, these allegations, no matter how detailed or disturbing, they risk just being dismissed, especially when you're dealing with influential bodies.
And there's more context, too. Legal advocates have apparently pointed to like 367 missing or murder cases involving young women just in that area.
Wow.
Yeah, and many are unsolved or no charges were ever filed. It suggests this potential pattern, which could connect to these new allegations.
Yeah.
Adds another layer of urgency, doesn't it?
It really does. And this is exactly where forensic science becomes, well, it's more than just checking facts. It's the absolute bedrock for finding justice here. In something this complex, you need that precise, thorough investigation. It's really the only way to establish irrefutable facts to push back against any denial or, attempts to downplay it.
So as these allegations started gaining traction, we saw this ripple effect. Responses coming from like the highest levels of government, civil society.
Right.
Initially, the chief minister, Siddaramaiah, he kind of delayed forming a special investigation team in SIT.
Yeah.
Said he was waiting for a police report first.
That initial hesitation makes you wonder, right? Was it just procedural caution or maybe something about the political sensitivities? The temple's influence speaks to the pressures involved?
Exactly. But it seems that initial caution, well, it gave way to pressure pretty quickly. The Home Minister, Kundu Rao, he came out strong. Said no one will be protected.
Important statement.
Yeah. Ordered impartiality in the probe and specifically acknowledged the need to protect the whistleblower. That's critical.
Very critical. Witness protection is paramount in cases like this.
And then, between July 19th and 21st, the Karnataka government did form that SIT. It's being led by DGP Pranab Mohanty, a top police chief, and includes other senior IPS officers. So a high-level team.
That signals serious intent from the state government side, putting senior officers on it.
And what's also interesting is the Temple Trust's reaction. They actually voiced hope for the, quote, highest level of investigation themselves.
For transparency, public faith.
That's what they said, yeah, to maintain public faith and transparency. But it's not just official channels. You've got indigenous voices, civil pressure groups really making noise. There's Sujatha Bhatt, she's the mother of Ananya, an MBBS student who went missing way back in 2003. She publicly demanded a helpline. and for the SIT to actually be set up as an official station where people can file complaints directly.
That's a powerful demand, taking it right to the investigation team.
And the Karnataka Women's Commission, they've jumped in too. They're calling for judicial oversight over the investigation and specifically asked for a review of all missing women and student cases in the region going back 20 years.
Okay, so you have this complex web of reactions happening all at once. But if you step back and look at the whole picture, the collective weight of all these responses from the government, the temple, civil society, victims' families, it tells you this is massive. It underlines the immense public and political pressure building up. This is way beyond just a localized issue now.
And the story isn't just about the investigation itself, is it? It's also about how the information is being handled. And this is where, public curiosity really smashes into the digital age.
Oh, yeah. The misinformation potential is huge.
Take this case involving Samir MD. He's a Canada YouTuber. He got booked under several BNS sections.
What for?
For releasing an AI-generated video called Who Are Serial KLLRs of Dharmasthala. Apparently, it got over 3 million views.
Wow. AI generated.
Yeah. And the police said the video had fabricated facts, stuff that went way beyond what any witness had actually said, and that it threatened to, incite unrest.
That's a serious charge, and it really highlights the problem, doesn't it?
It does. It points to this broader tension we see everywhere now between media freedom, the speed of online information, and the dangers of misinformation, especially in really sensitive cases. Apparently, over 8,800 online items related to this whole Dharmasthala case have been legally requested for removal.
8,800. That's a huge number. Shows the scale of the online chatter and maybe the concern about controlling the narrative.
Meanwhile, you've got activist groups SDPI, CPIM, the Women's Commission. Again, they're holding protests, issuing legal notices, really pushing for a systemic investigation, one that's not corrupt.
Yeah, and this whole situation, it raises such a vital point about, responsibility and how information gets spread. Especially in investigations this sensitive, where public trust is everything. Fabricated content, AI-generated stuff.
Yeah.
It can seriously impede justice, maybe even endanger people involved.
A real tightrope walk, isn't it? Balancing free expression with preventing deliberate distortion, especially now.
Absolutely. A major challenge for authorities and for platforms.
So, as we sort of wrap up this dive into what we know so far, you're probably left, like we are, with some really pressing questions still hanging in the air.
Definitely. Lots of unknowns.
I mean, one of the most immediate ones is that delay we talked about.
Yeah.
From the FIR on July 4th to the SIT finally being formed on July 19th. Was that just standard procedure, slow bureaucracy, or was it something else? Political reluctance, maybe? Fear of fallout with the temple?
Yeah, that gap. It's not just about dates on a calendar, is it? It could speak volumes about the political sensitivities, the kind of institutional weight we're talking about here.
And it makes you wonder about the whistleblower himself. He hinted at influential people being involved. Will they ever actually be named? I mean, even with witness protection, will the investigation really be able to reach people with that kind of power? Or will their identity stay hidden?
That's always the critical test, isn't it? Can an investigation truly penetrate those layers of influence, especially when dealing with people maybe used to operating without scrutiny?
And then there's the core evidence. When are those crucial exhumations, the DNA confirmations? When will that actually start? We know how urgent the need for scientific proof is.
Right. And the longer that vital forensic work gets delayed, the harder it might become technically, but also the more questions it raises about the real commitment to a fully thorough process.
And looking at the SIT itself, the investigation team, will it manage to stay truly autonomous? Or could it face pressure, subtle or not so subtle, from temple-linked sources? Could that compromise how impartial it is?
That's a fundamental worry. Anytime an investigation targets an entity with, significant social, political, maybe economic capital, the SIT's actual independence is going to be absolutely key for its credibility.
Finally, you have these historical shadows lurking. Could the unsolved case of Sojanya from 2012 that was a really significant missing person and suspected murder case in the area, could that somehow be tangled up in the roots of this alleged cover-up? How far back is this probe really going to reach?
All these lingering questions, they really point towards the potential depth, the sheer complexity of this whole situation. It strongly suggests that these initial allegations, as shocking as they are, might just be, the tip of a much larger, much more deeply buried iceberg.
So as a special investigation team gets properly started on the ground and this promise of exhumations hangs there, the truth that's been buried beneath Dharmasthala, maybe you'll soon start to surface. But the really profound question, maybe for you to think about, is this. If or when that truth comes out, will it challenge the very structures, the very influences that might have kept it hidden for so long?
Yeah, who really holds the power there? Is it the temple? The state? Or maybe, just maybe, the collective will of ordinary people demanding answers?
This deep dive, it really feels like just the beginning of understanding this whole unfolding story.